Hello, hello, hello. I'm trying my best. Trying my best to join the server. That's the chat. And the game is of course dead, because why not? Well, hello and welcome. Hope the stream is live, at least. But this is single shot quali, so I don't want to miss the session. Come on, game, work. Work, please. Mclaren. Join. It's still in practice, so yeah, I think we should be safe here. Oof. Right. So double check if stream is fine. Stream is fine. Chat is on the new old secondary monitor after the previous one failed in the middle of the Monza 6-hour race. Okay. Quali, reduce fuel. We need 2 liters or 2 laps rather. What do we need here? Something like this. Brake a bit less. And off we go. Okay. So assuming that everything is fine, it has to be fine, right? It will be a bit marginal. I need to do full push on the outlap. Nah, I will make it. I will make it. Alright. Hello again. A bit of a mayhem with LMU crashing when I exited the practice server. I cheated. I said in Discord that it's gonna be no practice, straight into quali. But I cheated. I did 1 lap of practice. And LMU punished me by a big freeze. Anyway, off we go. Well, hi Ace, hi Mario. Indeed a bit of Maca and then a bit of LMP at Portimao, because we're gonna be doing the 4-hour race. And then back to the Maca. Where do we even drive it? Ah, it was Sebring. Maca Sebring with some rain in the middle, so should be fine, or should be fun. I need to move my mic a bit, because I moved it last time. So I needed to look 90-degree left towards the monitor of the second PC to read the chat. Anyway. One more check of something for the stream. I think it's all good, right? Video and audio, everything should be fine. It looks a bit different now on my secondary monitor because it's... well, maybe the image or like the panel is even a worse one than the other one that failed before. But oh well, I had it not used, so that's fine. It's being used now. But yeah, well, how are you guys doing? Building igloos and snowmen, I suppose. I wanted to do it, but the snowfall was slower than expected. Time to do 300. This fixed setup is a weird one, right? I don't know how much wing it is, but we have the longer gears, I think. Although, well, there is no longer gears at Le Mans. It's just so much rear wing that we don't even reach 6th. And it's not a bad setup. We kind of joked a bit about the Mclaren being probably utterly utterly terrible on fixed setup at Le Mans, but Corvette was much worse. This is fine. It just still snaps. I had a big snap into Porsche curves on the one lap of practice, and elsewhere I had no front. But alright. 1 minute of time to cross the... Why is it doing that? Like I brake, it just rotates like crazy. Maybe there's not any packers, but only very stiff springs. That would make some sense. Yeah, no rotation on throttle. Ah, supercar, that's great to hear. Okay. Just in time to cross the line and start the lap. Maybe I can even use the esports line. Rotate. Just need to wait forever for the front. Okay, no purple sector 1, but it was not bad. Yeah, the monitor, one monitor is ready to be driven to the graveyard, together with my toaster that died as well. But the other monitor is mounted, so we are operational. From one 4 versus 3 to another 4 versus 3 monitor, just burning through all the storage I had from 2005. Hello, is the Mclaren the best choice at Le Mans? That's a good question. It could be. At Monza it was. Problem is that it struggles a lot through Porsche curves at Le Mans, so I'm not fully sure. But it flies on the straights, of course, so it shouldn't be a bad choice. But yeah, I mean, I'm thinking generally on open setup. But this is, what's it called, McLaren Masters or something like that? That was a nice apex. Still no purple sectors. Although, you can get purple sector by just flooring it through Mulsanne hairpin into the wall. Because the sector line is in the worst possible position. In the middle of a braking zone, or actually almost at the apex. Let's survive. This is not bad. Oh, this is bad, the understeer. McLaren on Le Mans, so I did one lap 10 minutes ago, well 15 minutes ago, one out lap. That was the practice. Right here the rear snaps, so let me be gentle. Nice, good rotation. Yeah, on the brakes it just dives and rotates. But on throttle nothing happens. close to getting a cut, but we take the finish line. Oh, that's tight. Wasn't a bad lap. 8/10. Well, I must have lost 2 seconds over the track. Oh, fuel. What fuel do we need here? It's gonna be... it's that situation where it's 5 or 6 laps, right? Take the tire. 10 seconds. 6 should be fine, right? Well, we have some quick people ahead. Does rear snap only on McLaren? So the rear does snap on... Well, the rear can snap on any GT3. Yeah, there is some kind of unknown issue with the way that if you have a rear snap, it sometimes just pendulums around way too much. Like, as if the weight distribution was way more extreme. It's, I don't know, how is it, like 45, 55 is kind of a normal weight distribution. Some cars, like the Aston, I think have 50-50. Well, front engine cars have more like 55 front. But it feels like we have 30 front, 70 rear sometimes. It's like over-exaggerated. Yeah, I don't know if it's a tire model issue or a car issue or like a physics issue. But it's like, it's difficult to make the car to rotate on the exit without making it so oversteered that it snaps on the entry. But it's possible, it's just like a very narrow margin or a very narrow operational window. Yeah, only McLaren at Monza here. It's McLaren party. No, Monza, Le Mans. Monza, it was McLaren party as well, because how quick the car was. Thank you, Vlad. Yeah, we really tried our best there. Could have tried harder, but you know, we tried as much as it was reasonable. Okay. Let's go. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. I lifted out of the move because I just wanted a bit of better slipstream. I didn't want to lose slipstream of P2. What happens? Absolute obliteration from behind. Okay. Copy. Yeah, I've been reading about problems in the online system recently with people being unhappy with the driving standards. And I was like, well, in Split 1 it's fine. Not every time though. I think P5 kind of crashed into P4 and the P4 just spun ahead of me. Well, let's make best out of a P13 then. Hoppa. You gonna take that? Never tried Codemasters, to be honest. little bit of touchy, but not the worst that we have seen this race. Code disasters. I never liked that. Like it's F1 games. It's not Sims, really. Like if you're really good in that. Ooh, somebody off. Not me, please. Another one off. Interesting. Diving straight into the corner. Yeah. If there was stewarding, half of the grid would be already on big penalties. Yeah, I mean, rubbing is racing. Well, that is difficult to call this rubbing. It's another one off. Wrecking is racing. Lacking a bit of front. Well, I qualified P5, I think. So if I overtake a car, then I'm back to the starting position. Which is funny. I really want to be part of that leading pack to profit from all the slipstreams. Oh well, bonjour Pierre. Like American football, yeah, maybe. Quarantine on me a little bit. Now let's work together here. Not like that. I meant more bump drafting, not battling. Don't battle me, work with me. Wondering where... we cannot get P3 anyway. This is more of a fight to catch P4. Snow plowing, oh yes. Oh yes. We're losing so much time now. I should rather overtake and get a move on. Moza, I have no idea about Moza. I would need to check what's the deal. And yes, Pierre, I fixed the setup. Well, I put the old monitor out and fitted another old monitor. Well, do you lose the badge because of bump drafting? I mean, it's not really legal to bump draft anyway, according to code of conduct, but I guess there are not gonna be any penalties imposed unless it creates a big crash. Come on, B5, have some speed. I cannot really do anything with the car here, just need to wait for the corners to end with this lack of front end. Half a point of a cut, okay. Gap to before absolutely constant. Well, this wasn't even 15 euros because it was like in family possession for 2 decades. So it's a free. Broke so early. Nah, I need to get past. But he's gonna battle me hard, so. Main monitor is 144 Hz. I actually stole the wife's working monitor, but she has 2 and she barely ever uses even 1, so it's fine. Just stop defending, take the line. I wish people understood how to work together a bit more, not like this. I don't know. Then we battle. I think I have some drag, some damage. It's surely repairable because I was just hit from behind into the car ahead. This is painful. I think I'm lacking surely like 5 kph on the straight. Because I was wondering if I should upshift to 6th before. Now it's not even close to the shift point. Well, see you later. The only place where the car rotates on the track. And it rotates way too much. I think it's just the lack of front packers. The front really dives so super hard if you smash it. And then again, it's not a corner where you should brake hard. You kind of need to roll in. Because there is still air on, it's still sensitive. Okay, can we catch P4? 2 laps to go. Or maybe 3? 3 laps to go, I think. He wanted to fight the barrier. think it's free to go. Although Tiny Pedal says 2. And the game says 5.9, but I don't care what the game says because that number is so erratic. .280 kph. I don't even know what I was doing before. But I'm sure I had red lights there, like the center lights turning red, which means I was much closer to the shift point. Yeah, top 3 had a lot of fun, and it would be such a nice race. But oh well, more crashing content. Now in these conditions it's the worst, because the way that you would drive in real life or normally, if you have somebody like sliding beside you and you see he's gonna cross your path, and like when he's in front of you, you absolutely try not to crash him, and everybody around you will be kind of respectful toward that and will try not to crash either. But in these conditions, what you have to do is just forget about the well-being and structural integrity of the car ahead of you and just ram through and run away as quickly as possible just to survive. Otherwise you will have 10 cars smashing into your rear and absolutely destroying you. It could be worse actually. I don't really have much suspension damage. Maybe it's slightly off center. The rear wing is still attached. That's nice. But P4 is not really losing time. Lovely rotation. I looked and thought of the race time a little bit and forgot that I have to brake a bit more gently. But it's fine. So where are the leaders? Crossing the... they will have 2 more laps. I gained a second on P4, it's not enough. Need to be quicker. Nice engine braking. He has a problem, I think. Slowing down. He figured out it's gonna be extra lap, right? Although he has 20%. Maybe he took too little fuel. Not a single lap for Ramonet, okay. I mean, we have 3 cuts here, so a lot of cutting can be done. I'm surely losing 5 kph though, like it's maybe 3, 4. But before, very realistic now. I used a FOV calculator, indeed. I will need the extra lap, so I hope they don't battle the hard for P1. 5, 10 seconds. Nah, they will not battle. Wonder what was the problem of Dov ahead? P6 is actually catching up as well. P6 out of fuel, he's not gonna do the extra lap. I'm not gonna see order across the start-finish line like this, or like when they cross it. Who's that? Ah. No freebie, just a lapped car. Cross the line and they start a new lap. That was a good run. My fuel is just enough. Okay, let's get the P4. P6 had to box, poor man. Sorry. And let's slipstream. I'm forgetting about the drag because of the damage. Come on. That is better. Now if I'm ahead, he will just drive around me because I have the damage. So what do I have to do here? I need a slipstream out of the corner. Park the car, cover the exit. Am I safe? This straight is not long enough for him to recover it. Alright. Come on, car. The extent that you have to go on this fixed setup to make it kind of drivable. Just removing all the front aero. But alright. Qualified P5. Gonna finish before the broken car. And across the line. Ay, 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 ay. Okay. At least it's not gonna be too bad for the DR. Where's my fan? The cooling, I need it. Okay, let's check the replay. Ay, 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 what was that? Good start. Was well in slipstream. This was very nice, like they kind of got bottled on P1, on Apex. Then I had the run around the outside and I was like, yeah, I can dive him for sure, I can get the position, but then I will have no slipstream on the straight. So I just lift, go behind, all good. That's a textbook move on the brakes. You do that. Yeah, he broke. Left input. That's instant ban from some racing series probably. Or big penalty. Because that's one of the most dangerous things one can do. Bonk. And then all was good, but then... What? And then the retaliation. Goes. Was that that was a bit of a retaliation, right? And that's something... Yeah, if you do that, you have just caused this behind you. And then both of you are banned from any racing series, or get 100,000 K euros or whatever fine for causing, or like maybe $1 million. No, I don't know, like this is not how you should drive. What was the phrase? Disasters don't just happen, they are chain of critical events. You need two mad people to create a huge problem, and this time I was in the midst of it. Nothing I can do about it. Here I cannot do anything. I have the car avoiding me on the left. The car on front is spinning to the right. There is just nothing I can do. Then I get smashed to the left. Unlucky. Yeah, racing license revoked. For more than one car, or more than one driver. This was a well-calculated move. I really had enough damage to have a big problem if I overtook before. But I'm kind of comfortable around the outside here, and he upshifted to 6th and lost a little bit of performance in the last moment, I think. He really blocked the inside, and I could just sweep around the outside, stop the car on the apex. No drama. Okay. The guy that was fighting the barrier. I should have read the chat 10 seconds earlier. I can check later. I need to like do a lap of practice for the next one. I lost DR. I never understand this, whatever this is. More up arrows than down arrows, but whatever. We go to Portimao. Washed up. Well, I was surely washed up on the... And my English leaves me alone in the dark. What was the phrase? Well, washed up on the pile of broken McLarens due to no fault of my own. 1 minute 20. There is no sense to join the practice. So maybe we have just enough time to reload the replay and check the guy that went to the barrier. Yeah, like well, that was the phrase from that series, right? We had it on TV, the seconds to disaster, and it stayed in my head. Hello, Daniele. I wonder if I had the pace to fight for P1 there. I don't think I had. Well, it was one lap of practice, and then another out lap and the quali lap, and it was only 8/10 of pace. And this was a big fight. He had just so much more straight line performance. But I mean, it was solid racing, like he was racing well. Yeah, and then the McLaren says that's too much of brake input. This corner is so unstable with this fixed setup, I don't get it. Kind of feel for the guy. Ow. Yeah. Air crash investigation. Maybe it was the same series, just under different name. I am joining Michael Moldovan Colombo. Okay. I was scared that some kind of esports pro would join for this, and with quite some practice, because I had 4 laps of practice, although I'd spun out of 2 of those laps. I've driven this combo a lot at the start of early access of LMU, when the car was basically the LMP2 copy-pasted from R Factor. Sweats are doing Bahrain. Bahrain? Why would Sweats be doing Bahrain? What is happening at Bahrain? We have... Wake Experience. Why would you do Wake Experience at Bahrain? We have the special event at Portimao, and we have the championship, the team championship at Paul Ricard, I think. Okay, well, I can tell you what the wheel is. It's... Well, I think it will work if you type !wheel. I think that's the only thing that properly works. But otherwise, it is Grid Engineering Porsche RSR replica. There you go. It works. Great. Yeah, there is no link to it. I will put link if they sponsor me, then I put the link. Oh, this is kind of being sponsored, but in a way that I won the competition, which was kind of sponsored by wait, who was it sponsored actually? It's the Porsche wheel. It was not sponsored by SimLab or Grid Engineering, but It was kind of sponsored by Overtake GG, which is kind of affiliated with Porsche. Anyway, 7-minute quali, setup is loaded. Let's have some, settings, controls, calibrate, 380. And tiny pedal, widget, no, preset, LMU, no VE, so I don't get messed up. Yeah, it's quite expensive, like, I think normal price was 2,400 or something like that, crazy price. I mean, the AMG one was even more expensive, but well, I mean, it's licensed replicas, so makes sense. Brakes, cold, tires cold. So let's see how the Go setup feels. I need to do some clicks for sure for Saturday, just to see how the car reacts. But we will not go to esports for Portimao, I think. I think actually relatively many people will do the team championship at Paul Ricard rather than the Portimao ELMS race on Saturday. Cosworth LMP2 8K. Yeah, okay. Colombot into 2-1. Well, basically I'm used to everything in Portimao T1. It's the perfect corner to get absolutely obliterated from all directions if you try to do it safely. So the way you have to do it is just brake too late, send it through the apex and off track and carry the speed, and then it's gonna be fine. It gets light over the crest. Ah, yeah, cold tire. Cold tire. I don't know, people are kind of unhappy with Paul Ricard, but like we have some vote in some Discord where people kind of vote where they're gonna drive. And usually it's majority for the special event and some for the championship, but this time it's kind of 50-50. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're doing the team championship and if you have committed to do all the 6 rounds, then of course you keep doing it. But I don't know why suddenly more people are doing it. Of course, if you're not doing the championship, you can just register, do 1 round, no problem. Seems like many will do this, but maybe people just generally like to drive more like hypercars or GT3s, but maybe less so the LMP2s. Not sure. But it's a nice, fun 4-hour race, so I said, why not? It's so nice to have a car that actually does the last corner easy flat out. I hope even more people like the hypercars after the tire update. Alright, second batch of lap times. Let's see what people are doing now. I'm 3/10 of pace. But 2 more attempts. Purple sector 3, nice. The tires are still kind of cold. Ah, that's a classic LMP2 moment. So stiff. By second gear. There used to be a cut detection if you went 4 wheels off the white line. Illegal downshift. I have too much ducts opened up, tires are not heating up quick enough. So final attempt. Should have 2/10 in the chicane, or in the hairpin now, on the exit. Dear Apex, why do you not like me? Messy, very messy. There was so much time I lost, but I would need a bit more practice. It's the eSport setup. And across the line to take P3. I mean, not bad. Not too bad. These snaps on the exits. Just need to increase TC a little bit. Or maybe not be that aggressive. Missing slip angle, oh yes. So, I think it's gonna be... I need to refuel 9 laps worth of fuel. This calculation is broken, I think. Like 43, 44, I think. And see what happens. Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is that when this corner here is flat out in Quali, it means that this effective straight or like section of track is very long. You spend a lot of time flat out, so you really gain a lot by having more top speed. But it was a bit sketchy. For no practice. Then of course it's the esport setup, it wasn't the safe setup. So you cannot expect it to be crazy stable. Okay, here we go. Michel did exactly what I said before, is the good way to start the race here. Well, NASCAR lines here. I've seen that Watkins Glen give a couple of times in the past days. Now that's wide. Now let's keep it within, well, a second, let's say, of Michel. So this is fuel times 2, which means that fuel saving is quite important. The lower wing is nice for less, like for fuel times 2 as well. So in this case, I think it makes sense to stretch to 16. I think Michel is trying the same. Again, how nice it is to be able to make this corner flat out without the front dying. Hi Tom. Oh, where are you going? Oh. Well, I mean, thank you for P1 or what? What was that? Now it would be unfortunate if he fuel saves for 17 behind me. P1 on pace alone. But yeah, this refuel rate on these ELMS cars is super slow. So one lap could be worth 3 seconds. If it's like 4.7 liters, could be like 3.5, I think, seconds per lap even. Stay more close on the last corner. Yeah, it makes sense to hug it. That was good target for 17. I'm gonna stay on the target then. Oi. It just feels so weird with these super long first and second gears. Like here you feel tempted to downshift to first, but it never really works. You never really gain time. But yeah, like take the curb and straighter exit. I know this. This is still quicker. I remember that. It's easy flat. Hypercar instinct kicked in. I remember it was still lying like that in that last slow ride in the first days of LMU early access on LMP2. Push lap for the leaderboard. Oh, good point. All the tires are still gaining temperature. Well, I'm in first gear. Yeah, maybe it's better if you take a certain line. Oh, okay. What am I seeing? What was that? I thought he was just like trying to make a dummy, but like, did he dummy himself? Kind of felt like the Mclaren snap of the car in the previous race ahead of us. Oh dear. Well. What should we do then? Might as well just push for 16. I think I can surely get the gap. And I don't think P2 is doing 18 or something. I mean, it is a tricky car. It's quite unstable if you push it in the wrong places because of how stiff it is. Like in this braking zone I broke a little bit too hard initially in the practice. Just instantly flew straight into the barrier at quite high speed. So I'm slightly scared about leaderboards. Uphill left I can do flat. I always have a bit of a rear snap. But I can try. The tires are up to temp now. Ah, okay. I see. .33.0 fastest. Copy. Time for an unsafe rejoin. Okay. Luckily not. Yeah, you cannot see in ELMS you don't have virtual energy. Virtual energy is just a hypercar thing, or like not hypercar, a WEC thing. And it's only public in public information in WEC, where everybody can see energy of each other. Surely it felt weird when I first saw it. Felt like a really weird information to have, but now I'm so used to it that it feels weird with ELMS cars not to have it. Well, LMP2 and LMP3s, right? GT3s still have it. Or do they? I don't know. Maybe a little bit overly cautious, but I don't think I had a safe gap to go for. Low speed gear, yeah, maybe. I mean, on higher wing levels, probably can work. But again, first and second gear are fixed. It only changes third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Unless something got changed, but I don't think so. Did I touch the McLaren? I don't know. I think he just had a wobble of himself. It's maybe that McLaren moment when you upshift from first to second and still rotate, and the gearbox just wants to detach from the car. You need to be on the correct line to make it flat out here, of course. What a big train of cars! Wow. And that's after 15 minutes of racing. Oh, 14. All the way up to P1. Oh well. That was P3, okay. 2 runaway GT3s ahead. Hello Guilherme. Schwix bronze 1 SR, that's nice. I forgot to brake, I think. 1.5 tenths loss. And no cut. Funny times. ELMS, I mean, they are kind of standardizing the rule books to make it kind of lower cost and more approachable, but I would really need to update myself on everything. Maybe LMU should have information like that just appear in small batches to teach us about different real-life racing series, right? I will for sure try the different gear ratios. We had the high gears for Paul Ricard, because the 5th gear was then very nice through that flat out right at the end of the back straight, and the RPM were just in the perfect range for max power. Try to do a lap for the leaderboard, and hopefully we don't catch LMP3s yet. Not gonna be quite a 33-0, lacking a little bit of talent or practice. Or track cut knowledge. That used to be a yellow cut. Why is it green now? These cuts are so inconsistent, like even on the default cuts, sometimes yellow, sometimes green, different in different circumstances, in different sessions, it always changes. Super weird. Maybe missing 4 kph, okay. Hooked the curb a bit too much. Thank you, Hiori. Well, Guilherme, it's a tricky question. Because I do have 7,000 hours in R Factor 2 and a couple of thousand in R Factor 1 and F1 Challenge before that, since I started driving with steering wheels, so I don't know. I mean, as I said before, I never drove Codemasters F1 games, but the F1 pros, like Opner, Rasmussen and co, Blakely, well, all the others, if they do any proper sims, they're still gonna be quick. So they surely learn something even in those games. Yeah, R Factor 2, I mean, it kind of was my main job for some time. Doing all the esports events in R Factor 2 in the peak years of the epidemic. Do I drive smooth? I mean, you know, it's funny. It's funny how when we compare wear between different drivers, like for Jesper, when we drove even R Factor 2, it was always me wearing the fronts less, despite just not having really the front grip, and I always try to preserve the rears, but still the rears wear more. And then we went to iRacing esports, and every time we look at the data, like for VCO ERL some months ago, with that V8 supercar, I was slow, but the more we went into the race, the fastest I went, and then they checked the wear, and I just had like half of the wear of the top pros, and I was like, well, this is iRacing, I need to drive smooth, right? I was on the limit, the front was already squealing, the rear was dancing around, but the wear was half. I was like, how can I drive, how can I push more? I'm on the limit, so it's a weird one. Which sim is the best? Performance, physics, money? Well, money-wise, Assetto Corsa, the good old one. Performance-wise, probably, I mean, you will have, of the top sims, you will have the most seamless and most optimized experience in iRacing, but you're gonna pay heavily for it, and you will get a game from 2005. Physics-wise, you know, for me, of course, Le Mans Ultimate or R Factor 2, but R Factor 2 still has, well, nowadays outdated tire model when it comes to simulating modern slicks. 2 laps to go, and then I have to box. So I should have... I'm just gonna fuel for 10. But this LMP2, this kind of has to be driven very smoothly. Not sure why, like it just, maybe because it's so stiff. If you have a small moment, you will be very quickly losing time. I'm sorry, I didn't know what he's gonna do. I keep forgetting that the LMP3s have basically no brakes. He flashes me, I can only say my apologies. I wanted to stay behind, then he wasn't braking, then I wanted to go for it, then I decided maybe not close enough. Then in the end I went for it anyway because I couldn't stop. All good. But the way to drive the LMP2 quick is just carry the speed through as smoothly as possible. These moments like that on the exits always cost a bit of time. One more lap of fuel. ACC you can drive on potato piece. Well, I had to decrease the resolution scaling to like 80% just to have any performance. Well, if you put it to way lower, it's gonna run, but probably you will have terrible visual experience. Though I'm no pro in ACC, maybe I have 400 hours or so. G-Sync is on, although I don't know if it's really on. I don't see the indicator. It used to be on, but then suddenly disappeared, and I cannot bring it back on. Slightly confusing. And yeah, about the rear tires struggling on LMP2, it's because it's such a stiff car. You can always gain some confidence and stability and mechanical grip by softening the rear springs. Then of course you have to think of the right height and of avoiding the rear crashing into the ground in high speed. Time to box. I think I'll be overfueling, but the game says I should fuel up even more. Man. I'm not gonna let him do that. Yeah, I'm always scared if there is a GT3 behind me on the pit entries because they can brake so much later. So they might be overestimate the distance and crash me. Oh, what's going on ahead? Oh, that's a nice one. Oh yeah. I hope he rotates. What a cinema. Guys, please sort it out. I need to go through. I think he found the mechanic. Oof. Scary. Well, that was fun. Luckily I survived, otherwise it would not be fun. But yeah, like if you like circuit racing, if you like if you like GT3s and prototypes and so on, and multi-class racing, and if you intend to drive online, then LM is a really good pick. No, I'm gonna say it once again, like if MSG went bankrupt and Studio 397 was dissolved, then I don't know, it would be pretty bad for me. I don't really enjoy GT3s or like any other cars that's normally driven in iRacing. It just feels weird and it feels disconnected from the track. And then Kunos feels like the tires, well, the FFB on ACC feels like it's coming from the rear tires. The front are kind of made out of wood. I don't quite understand the ACC and even AC1 to some extent. Well, AC1 is great for fun, but not for competitive racing. But yeah, I did... Rejoin, thank you. I did grow up again in F1 Challenge and R Factor, so I will always be breathing on well, this kind of physics engine. The Kunos hype, it's unmatched, right? The hype for AC Evo, that was something that I've never seen before until AC Evo launched in early access. So I have a rumble motor for brake, but it's not SimMagic, it's... what's going on there? I have a Sim 3D rumble that just attaches straight onto the Heusig-Welt sprint. Well, I'm passing these GT3s, but they're all kind of slow, or like crashing or recovering from off tracks. I knew the game was trolling me. I fueled for 1 lap extra, and the game was still telling me to fuel for even 1 further extra lap. But now I have 1 lap of fuel too much. According to Tiny Pedal, and I only trust Tiny Pedal because this in-game calculation in the HUD in the speedo, which for some reason is still visible even though I disabled it, is just wrong. Ah yeah, I disabled the speedo and then left the server and then the game crashed, so the setting change did not save. But yeah, I mean, LMU, like, it's crucial, really crucial that in the next few months they fully eradicate all these disconnects and some bugs that are still affecting things really badly now and then. And then the hypercar model needs to be good. And then the IMSA license needs to come. Gonna take the Apex, I guess? No? Okay. I will not risk anything with a 4.7 second lead. This corner. Such a strange corner. Even GT3s struggle with the rear there. Yeah, about the motor and the brake. Thing is that with the telemetry that's usable, or like that the system can use from Le Mans Ultimate, you can start feeling the rumbles at whatever threshold you set. And it's not really on-off for the lockup. So you can really, you can feel it before it locks. Then like on hypercars I think it's even more powerful because of how gradual the lockup is. Actually, let me try now with LMP2 what happens if I... Okay, maybe the threshold that I have now is just slightly too late. Because the moment the micro lockup happened, that was the moment that I started to feel it as well, so maybe the threshold is not fully optimized for this. Which makes sense, because I made it for hypercars. Yeah, Tiny Pedal is legit and safe. I mean, I've been using it for a year or so. No problem with it. Where can you install it? I just have it, like, you don't need to install it. It's just like you download the folder and open the exe, and then you just need to, well, download the brand logos. You have the cars with their respectful logos, and that's it. I don't think I'm gonna get a clean lap anymore, right? For the leaderboard. Traffic is too spread around. And then again, if you come close enough for a lockup, like you see my tire temps now, right? The track temp is quite hot, and if I come close to the threshold, the front left, in the left braking zones, is going to overheat already anyway. So it's just better to not be that close to the limit. So 4 to go. But I have to say that on these new tires, I don't necessarily struggle with feeling the lockups through FFB which is the case on old tire. And in R Factor 2 you could not really feel it. Although to be honest, in R Factor 2 you had to lock up a little bit. It was just stopping quicker. Well, on some cars and some tires, which was quite horrendous. So it makes sense that, yeah, you see the tires on the left side are so hot that there is just not any wiggle room. But yeah, I wanted to say it makes sense that there was no feeling in FFB, because if you're locking up and not really losing any grip, then you will not feel that you're losing anything. Okay, one thing that I'm noticing here, it's not as hot as it was in Monza, but I believe that for the 4 hours of Portimao, the tire temps are gonna be critical. Like, look at that, I'm not really pushing that hard on them, but it's close to 200 Celsius, and above 100 you will already have significant grip loss. You can decrease the temperatures by opening the ducts, but as you might expect for this track condition, I have already fully opened them. So that's gonna be an interesting strategic situation. Let's see how many tires we have. I would love to use the rumbles for like for engine vibrations. I actually have bought 3 rumbles for the pedals and then 4 rumbles for the seat. Though the problem is that I figure out that I cannot really distinguish between different rumbles over the seat because of how seat is made. It just distributes everything evenly through the whole sim rig. Would need to somehow isolate different ones to get different feeling for each tire. And then, if I wasn't living in an old communist block where everything can be heard of these louder vibrations through the whole block, then I would maybe use something to feel more immersed with the revs or with the speed or with whatever. But now I just have them disconnected. I only really use the brake one. Wait, I need to read this again. LMU FFB. Well, I need to overtake the LMP3 first. LMU FFB is only for the ACC crowd that hates LMU's own FFB. Ah, okay. There is an app for that. Honestly, this is the first time I hear of it for some reason, which is terrible. Why do I learn about it now? And then I'm thinking, like, usually such stuff was illegal for competitions. Obviously hard to prove or detect it, but it's basically adjusting your inputs in the game, not in the way not intended by the game. So that's one legal worry, but it would be great to try to see what happens. But I don't really feel like I need more information. I already get everything I need from the game. Ah, the seatbelt, the tightening ones, right? I was thinking of that. It should actually help a lot with the braking zones if you struggle to feel. I mean, if you're doing esports, then you kind of have learned exact braking point and you just know what's gonna happen. You don't need to really manage the braking zone on the go. but it's for sure extra info if it's not delayed. I have like a sneaky suspicion that it's actually a really good system. What should I do? What was that? That was another LMP2 off track. This is proper LMP, proper ELMS experience. These abbreviations I struggle with pronouncing in English. Because in English all the consonants get a vocal added. In Slovenian it would be just ELMS. No need for all the EL. So bear with me. But anyway, cross the line we go. Take the, well, kind of gifted win, I don't know. Like, Michel had some pace, but he just kind of said, no thank you, here you go. I don't know. If you have a DD base, LMU FFB isn't worth it. Yeah, again, like I don't need anything else. I feel what I need to feel. But I did not have that in ACC or iRacing or any other sim. Maybe in Race Room I had it, but Race Room when I did some 1 or 2 esports qualifiers, the curves just felt so like it was like R Factor 2 to some extent, just a lot of rear slip angle. Anyway, thank you Mario. Pedals cracked before the race. That's why he wasn't really on esports pace, right? Now let's check what happened there with Michel. What's happening? Okay. How can pedals, like what kind of pedals does he have? Well, for seatbelt, I guess if you can use sync hub for seatbelt, you can make it to tighten according to track temp if you want. What was that? Look at the steering wheel. Steering disconnected. Look, it just went. Suddenly it goes fully straight. Maybe not disconnected, but kind of reset. That sometimes happens if you press FFB reset. You just lose the input. And then you press FFB reset again and then you get the input again. It's fully straight and then bonk. Or a game freeze. Yeah. Strange one. And then no, that was some kind of hardware or software issue. I thought he was making like a dummy move to scare me off, but that's way too far and doesn't look like he's actually doing it. Again, yeah, the steering froze. Steering froze in place. But he's downshifting. He downshifted while the steering was frozen, so that's not a game. And his inputs are changing, so I think it's just something with the input. Then he panics, of course, and goes, ah, poor man. Race of hardware issues. And then he DNF'd. Ah, he just pulled over. I wanted to check my pit stop as well. No convenient click. Ah, this was scary. I intentionally broke on the left side just to leave a bit of space on the right in case he comes. Or he's racing keyboard. I don't think that's the case. Ooh, like what is that? This is almost like intentional murder. Like, well, every murder is intentional, but why would you? And then, well, he did the correct thing there, of course. And then we find... Ah, okay. This is an unsafe release, right? Yeah, this is... you have to wait for it. And then panic, wait. Took him long to reach the reverse, but when people are coming, reversing into oncoming traffic, rotating him even worse. Okay, and then it works finally when I come through. What a weird one. Right, well, 15 minutes until the McLaren carnage at Sebring. But I would love some practice, so... Leiden with the BMW. Well, that's quite a field, right? And there is... well, there are 3 McLarens. Ah, they have... they were teammates. Neil and Ramonet, they were teammates for the Sebring 8 hours. They were really like on the same pace as us, kind of. They just messed up the strategy, in my opinion. I complimented David. I did. And... well, David was defensive of the compliment. In the expectation that we all should be Platinum 1, kind of. But for different reasons aren't. I don't think I'm the next Plat driver. I'm still like 1/3 towards Gold 3, and it's gonna take quite a long time to get there. Do I have some setups? Oh, I'm confused here. 27th, I think this should be the Quali. So let's see what is the Quali pace. Before I forget, settings, gameplay, speed off, controls, calibrate, range to the default one, and then tiny pedal, and preset with the virtual energy. Ah, the raindrops, yeah. Well, there goes my Quali practice. Actually, let me take the other setup. I want to take this one. David, the rank breakdown is super weird and broken and inconsistent, and I don't like it. I don't know what to say about it. Also, the McLaren has disconnected wiper from the raindrops. Do you see that? Like, it wipes and then a moment later the drop disappears. Quite frustrating. Don't read the messages and drive into the corner at the same time, but well, I avoided the wall there. No, yeah, about the DR system, it's been adjusted a couple of times. I still don't understand it though. You don't think there are other gold free drivers? Yeah, we had somebody else. Wait, wasn't, who was gold free? I think there was David and then Sander and then I think there was another driver, but I'm not fully sure. I think there was somebody even in R Factor 2, because remember the DR transferred from R Factor 2 to LMU in the early days, and somebody was already like very high gold in R Factor, while we were like silver 1, silver 2, maybe silver 3. It was quite convenient to already start with silver 2 or silver 3 in LMU. I need to calculate the strategy here. Because we will have to box for wets. We don't really need to refuel, but we can take a bit less fuel, I think. I don't remember what were the lap times. I think it was possible to make high zeros on full tank, but more like in ideal conditions. But I will take a bit more downforce for this one. Wonder why Leiden registered with BMW. It's not something you normally do for like one-off appearance in the GT3 Champs on a wet track. If you know it's gonna be wet, you normally take the Porsche. I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Box for wets or box for hards, right? ELMS champ in BMW, okay. Was ELMS champ in at Sebring as well? You don't think he cares? Ah, that's a good point. And then I agree with him. Like if you try hard enough, you can win without best bop. It was Imola, okay. I think I'm just gonna keep lapping for these 7 minutes. Still medium grip. Tires are still kind of cold. Oh, that was the wall. And that's an off track. I'm trying to recall the lap times from Sebring 8 hours, but like I don't know, I just cannot remember the lap times. It's always like that. We do a race, 3 days later I just have no idea about the numbers. Like all the lap times just completely get erased from my memory. I think we were probably in once in the long run, on average. One mid to high. Okay, that kind of rings a bell. Now it's dump already. Hoped I could maybe do at least a one high. Maybe I can still do it. No, but I can start feeling the grip loss. It's gonna be important to know when to box. Well, I won a previous GT3 championship by boxing at the correct time and gaining basically 10 positions and emerging ahead of my opponent. Don't roll backwards, thank you. So at this point we are losing a second or 2 seconds per lap. Ah, second and a half maybe. Still drizzling. Well, this practice session is longer than the race, so in the race things will move quicker when it comes to going from drizzle to light rain. So maybe that would be the moment to box. Maka is not strong at all tracks. Well, as we saw at Qatar, more than half a second of pace. At Silverstone, it's maybe 2/3 of pace. Champ races give more DR, yeah they do. Well, less than special events. Although, again, depends on the length of the special event. In these conditions, I think we would go even a lot longer still. I need to fix my millimoles. And then we brake. Optimize the pit entry. Okay. Yeah, it's better to forget about that race, for sure. Actually, how many time we have? A minute. I'll be back in a minute. And we are back. And we have 5 minutes of practice to calculate the strat. That rain could actually come quite quickly. Well, actually there is a theoretical chance there is no rain. And I have 0 quali practice. So that's great. So let's say 45 minutes, and then we subtract like 30 for drive-through, 5 for the start, and well, 12 for tire change. And then we divide by, on average, I don't know, 2-minute 10s. So 1:30 lap time. Could be 20-21 laps. So basically 90% virtual energy. But if there is no rain, that could be a problem. Quali is overrated, fully agreed. Would be nice if there was a way to just like shorten the quali session so that you have 2 minutes and you just click drive and it hot spawns you on the back straight and you just need to do the lap. Single attempt, whatever happens, happens. Hi Crow. Yeah, so basically the bronze dailies are ×1 and then ELMS or like the silver are ×2 I think. Gold are ×3. And then championship races should be ×4 and weeklies and special events as well, although sometimes special events are ×5. Le Mans 24 was ×6 even, if I remember correctly. Wait, how did Sebring at our quali go? Not too great, right? I was like P9 or something. The lap just didn't quite work. But then in the race we just gapped everybody. So I fear I don't really have a great quali setup. But the pole was 0.2 or something like that. But yeah, you better not DNF. And then again they said that the point of not displaying the actual DR, but rather just have more like hidden numbers in the background, but just display this like gold 1, silver 1, silver 2, silver 3 to kind of prevent from people looking too much into the number and rather enjoying the driving. But in the end it doesn't really work like that. If people are scared for their DR, they will maybe do Smurf account and I don't know. If you try to really gain a lot of DR to get into higher splits for better racing, then you really need to be careful about it. Okay, I kind of got a bit of a feeling of the car, so hopefully quali is seamless. Oh, that was loud. Well, let's drive. Still running the green lights. Is it a problem? I can fix. I can fix. What color is the McLaren? I don't really have... I don't know how does this look. Not too McLaren-y. I don't have an orange preset. I cannot really judge the colors on this new old secondary monitor that I have now. I mean, the old one was pretty much dead when it comes to colors, but this one just skews the colors so much that I have no idea what you guys see. But no, good point, like I like to change the colors a bit now and then. Yeah, maybe it would be diligent for me to make a Smurf account for more like for content races. Although then again, it's not kind of my type of content to drive in P15 and crash around, so I don't think it's really a problem for me even with Gold 2 to have bronze races go wrong now and then. Especially as by now, when it comes to team lineups, probably we have the highest rated lineup. What, was it silver 3 already? We will have to use the second one, not to be rated too high. for Portimao. First world problems. Bottom handle. I never think of it, so I guess it's better that it's not there, so the wheel is lighter. Yellow and sort of white reddish, okay. It's actually, the color is actually kind of yellow to green. I made it for the Peugeot with that Peugeot livery. Trying to remember what I did for tire prep for Sebring Special in Quali. I don't think I really did much. Cannot be bothered weaving around anyway. Yellow and light pink, that's funny. And about the next Peugeot race... Oof, I don't know. I would like to say next hypercar race overall is after the hypercar gets new tires. You will blame me, oh well, I'm glad. Well, I would like to drive the Peugeot more. I will just be in like a curious situation for the next some months. Maybe I'll be a bit limited on what I can drive or not. P2 for now, but now the important 3 laps. Let's get deep into zeros. If I beat my Sebring 8 hours Quali lap now, I'll be unhappy with myself. Aye. Well, let's see. I think I did 0.5 or 0.6, like 0.6. This is a nice setup. Neil has a 10th advantage. But just like that, with zero practice, matching my Quali lap from Sebring 8 hours. What an esports. No prep is the way to go. What is Leiden? Waiting for him to single shot into 59s. And the left side is cooking a little bit already. Not sure if it makes sense to do another lap. Ay. Nope. No. And now everybody does the 0.5s there. Ah. Let's escape. Save the tire. But I want the other setup. I want the other setup for the race. Because of the rain. It's 100%. It's gonna rain. Okay. McLaren have some good drivers for a change in WEC. I have not really updated myself on that yet. Poor James Baldwin. It's so difficult, right? Imagine being so quick that you're just quicker than many real-life pros. And you have big channel on YouTube, you have a lot of exposure. But it's still not enough money to get like a seat easily. Wheelbase is 17.56 Newton meters. Well, wheelbase goes 25, the Semicube 2 Pro. But this is more than enough. You know what? It's super fun to drive it on max with like really strong FFB around Sebring. But not if you're trying to do esports, then your wrists and everything is gonna just fall off. What a fight of the Porsche had. Joao with a solid 0.4. Where is the BMW? Where is Tommy? Did Tommy unregister? Double checking for 5th time, but there is no Tommy Leiden. He was on the list. He must have pulled out last moment. Oh well. James needs Max to pick him up. Well, honestly, there is many real-life racers that should maybe kind of mentor or like help top esports pros a bit more. I mean, not necessarily talking about myself because I'm getting to the older side of things, but maybe younger guys. Hi Zinho, I will not change to Semicube 3. I don't see any reason to do so. Also, I've heard all of this new updating that happens on SimCube 3 is more targeted for like worse performing sims when it comes to FFB, like iRacing, you know. Tommy's in Split 3. Ah, copy. What? Rookie badge, but you get top split with rookie badge, no? Ah, you don't? Ah, unlucky. Unlucky. Anyway, like with LMU, with FFB, how good it is, I heard that it's not any significant difference between SimCube 2 and 3. But on sims with worse FFB, like you gain more feeling. That's what I heard. But maybe again, when I go to Maastricht in a week and a half to the Sim Expo, Sim Formula Expo, maybe I get to try stuff there. Let's see. Ah, Birchheim, father and son, okay. Is my setup alright? I think it is, like it should be. New wets. I just took full tank, didn't I? Oh well. Could get away with a bit less, but at least no worries. If it's full dry, then it's gonna be 23 laps, I guess, but it will rain. Changed brakes to hydraulics. Yeah, okay, yeah, the brake change is a big one. Could be a problem if the feeling is very different. Yeah, thank you, Korosi. And let's see what happens here. Oh, of course. I'm not sure if he turned, or like if he bumped me off, or if I turned in on him. All good anyway. Now he's quite unhappy with me, I suppose. He keeps scaring me, like super late braking. Okay, time to finally stop defending. Focus on guys ahead. I have kind of a wet setup, to be honest. Yeah, I'm careful with Kolev, but not careful as if I should be. McLaren! Stop McLarening me around. Well, the pace is not bad. Tire is still kind of cold. I have a bit of damage. I was a bit on the edge with Quali, but I think like he tried to go around the outside into the hairpin and turn into me, and then I kind of understeered a bit. And then I just went with it and pushed him a bit off on the exit. All good. The important thing is that the top three are not running away. Well, you can see I added a bit of downforce, right? Oh, I forgot to post the setup. I'm supposed to post it to go setups as kind of a rain setup. It's difficult with those wet setups, like usually it's not, you don't need a wet setup, usually you just need a setup that works in the dry but also works in the wet. I just hope that when it starts raining I just gain half a second per lap. Now the Porsches are fast. 1.3, oof, quick. Rain soon. Like the third and the fourth of the weather settings were light rain and drizzle. So I imagine... Ah, there you go. Here comes the rain. I don't want the virtual energy to start adding anything, so let's keep it down. Oh yes, David, it was. I mean, we had that Porsche just very close to us for a long time. Always like closing in on us in the second stint and so on. I remember like a German Porsche, like a German driver in the Porsche, I think it was. Then again, the Porsches are supposedly worse with the fuel efficiency. Dump. Already dump. So box when? One second of pace now. Do we have a hero? Or will we all chicken out? We have two heroes, wow. Two heroes, two chickens. Who's gonna benefit? I hope not a huge traffic jam here. Looking good. Well slotted. Glad we have this American-sized pit lane with a lot of space. Okay. Joao with the drive-through. Oh, poor man. It's a long, long, long drive-through here. Well, send it. It's quite wet, right? And it's not slightly wet yet, but light rain. Yeah, slightly wet. Could be pretty much spot on or like tight, very tight. Maybe they lose extra 1 second. Hello Raven! Well, P1, P2, beating for wets. Let's see where we end up after boxing a lap early. Yeah, this is not slick conditions at all. Maybe this was a really, really good call. Yeah, not snowing in Sebring, not yet. Although with how much snow we have here in Ljubljana, it might as well be snowing a little bit there. Missing the apex. Oh, I didn't miss the apex, it was the wet line. And moment of truth. Where are they? He exits the pits. So I gained. Where is the other? I jumped Neil. Now we have Mclaren on wets. I think I gained a little bit. Yeah, I gained a second, exactly a second. So it was worth it. Good call. Wonder what happened with Neil. He just lost so much. Maybe just pit lane traffic. Send it, Joao. Let's go. That's what we need. Not sure what to do with TC. Feels like it's too restrictive, but at the same time too loose. What a battle. Joao will get him, but then he has to box. Well, a moment of thankfulness, a moment of silence for Joao. Hope for a bit more grip. Activates too late. No, it activates, yeah, it activates too late, but when it activates too much. Kevin testing out the wet lines. This is not exactly a wet line. Back to drizzle. It didn't even go wet. The tires are so hot. What if the correct call here was to just keep mediums on, survive? But it will keep drizzling for quite some time, right? It will not just dry up. Oh, he gains so much out of this corner. I never played WRC. Too late on the brake. Oh. Good catch. Now the Porsche traction just comes alive in the wet. It's possible to really beat it on traction. But with these temperatures, maybe the question is who can keep the tires colder. Wet's in the 70s. With 23 minutes to go. Oh. Kiss of the wall. I don't know if it's a good call now to kind of try to max push. I cannot remember the braking spots. Anyway, not a bad line for the wet. Oh, that Porsche is just so fast. No, it's not wet enough for that line. Just better to hit the apex. I did a wet setup and now I feel like I was quicker in the dry. To make a setup better for wet conditions, well, it's a bit of brake bias to the rear, and then, if possible, soften the suspension, add the downforce. I added rear wing. And I actually added rear ride height as well, because in the Mclaren, rear ride height is quite deadly in high speed. But if high speed is not high speed anymore in the wet, it's not that bad, and then it's like, it's kind of front wing and rear wing, just that it's like rear ride height for front downforce and rear wing for rear downforce. rears in the 80s. I mean, it's 8 laps to go, we will survive. The gaps pretty much stabilized now. Keep losing the rear there. Just zero traction for some reason. Well, it's a Mclaren reason, but yeah. Come on, I lost a second with that. Didn't feel like that much of a mistake. Hi, Kacper. So yeah, I just hope the Porsche mailed the tires somehow, for some reason. It did at Silverstone a week ago. Turn off the wiper. Just trying to be super smooth, because if I'm not super smooth, then the tires will just gain the temp and there is really no overhead. Like we're really pushing the temperatures. NFS drifting, Sebring, yeah, like... Ooh, that's a good lap time. I mean, not sure if it's a good lap time, but I gained half a second. So maybe something is working. ABS. Well, I'm gaining time now, despite the ABS mistake and missed apex. That patch of dry track under the bridge is so nice. 5 to go. I need half a second per lap. Cannot hit that apex. Miss apex equals gain time. Could be sometimes. So yeah, a week ago we had a dry race around Silverstone. There was a Porsche that pulled a big gap, but in the second part of the race the Mclaren came alive and I caught the Porsche and we had a huge battle in the end. I don't know if I can do that with Ciclari now. Apex, nice. Well, that's not how to preserve rear temperatures. Oh, come on. There is no extra grip. A bit of a drift and grip is by. Well, I needed to gain half a second, not to lose half a second. That was a good apex. Time to consider dry tires. Box for hearts. Yeah, now in these conditions it would be never better to keep slicks going. Just the drizzle just made it too long in the wet. The gap is rock solid, 2.8. .11.6 and 11.4, okay. I would need like one huge moment from Mclaren and then I have a chance. Greasy hands. Oh yeah, that's how it would kind of look, right? What do you mean on med? If we are on mediums now, or what you're asking? I gain time and then I lose it in traction zones. Big chance. Honestly, I kind of forgot what I said. Well, a week ago we were on mediums. 11.2, 11.2. That was a nasty one. Crazy how tight the base is. 10.1, 9.8. A bit of advantage, but well, this is the last lap now. So final couple of chances for a big mistake from Mclaren. Although I don't want him to smash another keyboard. Final corner. And we take the P2. Alright. Not bad, like in the end we were really trading the lap times, but in the moments where the traction... In the moments when the traction was the most important, the McLaren kind of didn't want to cooperate. And I cannot really blame the setup, because I think the setup was pretty much optimized for good rear mechanical grip. It's just McLaren versus Porsche. It's just Porsche crazy traction. GT3 got around a second quicker on average, I think, from before version 1.2. Thank you for the GGs. That was a fun race. I just hoped that I would have just a little bit extra pace. Maybe if I like completely nailed everything, I would be on the rear of Mclaren. But, well, if he nailed everything, he would be then 3 seconds ahead as well. William, this is the glucose level, like I have the sensor here for the diabetes type 1. Joao, thank you for the show, thank you for your sacrifice. Did your button not activate or what? Let's quickly see the start. The start was it kind of a missed opportunity maybe? The button didn't... okay, yeah, let's check. Heard the click but not pit limiter. Oh, that's not great. That's the worst. Here I was like, well, I have quite a nice line. I have the higher downforce on the setup, maybe I can carry the speed around. This corner always feels super tight. When you're doing this line, you're like, I'm really squeezing the guys on the inside, I'm pushing my luck, it's gonna tighten. But if you look from above, it's a lot of space. Then if the car on the inside kind of has a bit of understeer, he will push you into the barrier, so maybe good to have this feeling, but still I had a bit of... I had enough grip, I shouldn't have hesitated this much. And then I would be maybe further along, like further ahead. Yeah, then I just understeered, the fronts were cold. Then the Porsche dives. Ah, it was him! I didn't know if I turned in on him, because I don't see a corner, I just see a McLaren. It was him who shook me off a bit. At least he left a bit of space, so that's nice. Maybe he wasn't planning on leaving space, but his rear made him leave me space. And then I'm like, yeah, he's gonna dive, so... Ah, it wasn't Kolev. It was Neto behind. Oh, that's a nice breaking point. Bonk. Oh, glad that that didn't end worse. Bonk. I thought it was Kolev on the outside turning in on me a little bit. Like, we turned in. Here I felt the tap, I thought he turned in on me, so I understeered. Here it happened, bonk, yeah. Here I thought he turned in on me, so we kind of glued ourselves together, and then was like, okay, then I take the IRL battling line out of the corner when you're on the racing line and you get the permission to push everybody into all kinds of off tracks. And then he kind of was a bit... Let's try to... but luckily nothing happened. It could be a dangerous tap. But no, yeah, my apologies to him for this one. It was Mr. Neto's fault. And he tries again. I leave the space. This is fine because this grass is basically part of track. But then the other Porsche is coming. Still he had a look like a little bit... Oh, that was late on the brake. Like I broke normally and I saw he coming, I just lifted brake a bit. Turned in, missed... Well, went wide, but... Yeah, that was fine. Then let's see what happened to Joao on the pit entry. This is where I lost the race. I'm the only one that respects the pit entry line. I thought you had to respect it, but the game doesn't force you to. Wait. Ah, that's Neil, sorry, wrong car. My brain. What am I doing? I was looking at Joao. Oh, come on. Double illegal pit entry line. So brake, press pit limiter. What pit limiter? Ah, that's unfortunate. That was a beautiful slot, like whole snake of cars comes, but a beautiful slot waits for me, like exactly in the middle. P21 for you. Back and forth between P21 and P30. Well, if that ended in P21, then not bad, right? Good job. I mean, is there anything more to be checked or looked at? I don't think so. The server says thank you so much as well. And we have results, maybe? Would like to see what Leiden did in split 13 or whatever he did. Split 3? The results. This is taking a while. Well, for the time being, I can maybe just double check the weather. RC gone crazy. Again. Oh dear. Let's see. LMU Discord. Ah, it's orange. Race control is down. We are investigating. Well, then luckily the server stayed alive, right? It's gonna be sunset conditions, so it's not gonna be as hot as it was today at the ELMS sprint. Well then, no results for us, I suppose. If race control is down, yeah, like, why is the race control down? It cannot just go down like that. Unless iRacing bots are absolutely DDoSing it 24/7. Well, let's hope they fix everything. What do you think for LMU in future? It should be really great and bright, and I'm really happy to see the player numbers. Like it peaked, like peak player numbers for Monza, a 6-hour race, without even any updates. So it was like 8.4K, and that's still with game basically being early access. Like that, I don't deem it to be version 1.0 yet. There is still way too many missing functions. The UI is still a mess. The crashes, the bugs, the missing tire model, the missing tracks, the missing updates. Like when everything comes, it's gonna be amazing. And then extra packs. If we get ELMS with all the like Sepang and Abu Dhabi and Dubai and stuff like that, and then yeah, there's gonna be big selection of tracks. Actually, how many tracks do we have here? I guess I can be happy that my game didn't crash. Just trying to count how many tracks we have. All bonus. Is that all tracks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yeah, I guess we have 13 and we will have 14 with Barcelona. And then if we have Abu Dhabi, Dubai and Sepang, which we kind of suspect could come with ELMS pack, that we kind of assume it's gonna happen, or that should happen, then 17 tracks, like that's a really good game already. 17 really top quality tracks, so many cars, 3 different classes, actually 4 different classes. No, GTE, GT3, LMP2, LMP3, Hyper, 5 different classes. And then all the offline content, like if we have the single player, it's gonna be a big one. Our race servers are currently undergoing routine maintenance and will be unavailable between 3 minutes ago and 12 minutes in the future. Okay. Well, either way, time to call it a night. If we can assign a livery, then we can assign a driver to a race event. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. Like the next couple of months are crucial. We really hope that Le Mans Virtual Series happens again this year, and like it would be such a dream if it was like a proper 1-to-1, like real life WEC race and fully like integrated, incorporated LMU event with it. Like maybe a special event in the game, but at the same time top split being kind of broadcasted and having also real life drivers. I don't know. That would be awesome to be part of. Until then, I will wish you guys great second half of the week. Great preparation for Portimao or Paul Ricard if you do the specials or the team races in the weekend. And see you on track. Bye bye.